Before we begin, we're going to play an opening statement, but why don't you just take this opportunity to silence your phones, please? Good evening, everyone. Welcome to everyone. Thank you for coming. It is 6:32. I'm calling the meeting to order.
Okay. Commissioner Joseph,
Present.
Commissioner Lama,
Here.
Commissioner Stuyvesant,
Here.
Vice Mayor Viscaro,
Here.
Mayor Svechin,
Here.
all members present, ma'am.
Okay, if everyone could please rise for the Pledge of Allegiance.
Thank you. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thank you. We do not have an invocation today, but I do want to welcome everyone. Before we start, welcome to our regulars. I see former Mayor Edelcup and former Mayor Goldman are here. Welcome, and I see Ari Steiger is back, so it's nice to see you somewhere. Okay, Mauricio, first item.
First item on the agenda is 3A, approval of the minutes of the July 16th, 2026 meeting.
Okay, do I have a motion?
Motion.
Need a second?
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
All right, Mauricio?
Okay, let's play your opening statement.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. We appreciate your attendance and thank you for joining us tonight. Before we begin, there are a few important reminders regarding conduct during our commission meetings. Please ensure all electronic devices are turned off or set to silent mode to maintain the integrity of our proceedings. Mutual respect is the foundation of productive discussions. We ask that everyone remain silent and attentive when someone is addressing the commission. Clapping, applauding, heckling, or any verbal outbursts, either in support or opposition of the speaker, are strictly prohibited. Any individual wishing to address the commission must fill out a public speaker's card and submit it to the city clerk before the relevant item is announced. Each speaker is granted a maximum of 3 minutes. Should you exceed this time, the chair will notify you to conclude your remarks. Speak directly to the agenda's points. Remain concise, and avoid redundancy. Should an individual speak without the chair's permission or continue speaking after a warning, they may be escorted out of the chambers. It is essential to avoid making impertinent, slanderous remarks or becoming boisterous while addressing the commission. Such behavior may lead to being barred from future commission appearances, unless the majority of the commission members present vote otherwise. The presiding officer may disallow signs or placards in the commission chamber. Please exit the chamber quietly and without disruption. The goal of our meetings is to facilitate public input and participation. However, disruptive or disorderly conduct hinders our collective objective. Individuals who want to speak on an item on the agenda are asked to fill out a public speaker's card and give it to the city clerk before the item is called. Speakers are asked to speak to the issues, make comments concise and to the point, and refrain from making duplicate comments. All speakers will be limited to 1 3-minute comment per item. If you exceed the 3-minute allotment, the chair will advise you to finish your comment. If you speak out of turn without permission from the chair, and/or you do not cease speaking after one warning, you will be escorted out of chambers. In order to maintain orderly conduct and/or proper decorum at these meetings, anyone who interferes with the orderly process of the meetings after a warning may be removed from the meeting and may be barred from further appearance before the City Commission, as permitted in S286-0114, FS and SS 74-5 and 74-21 of the City's Code of Ordinances. Any necessary removal will be made at the direction of the mayor and will be carried out by law enforcement or a designated sergeant at arms. It is essential that attendees adhere to these rules of procedure to ensure productive meetings that serve both the public and the City Commission. Thank you for your cooperation and understanding.
Okay, thank you. I'm just going to add to this like I normally do. The acoustics in this room are great, which means that we hear all your conversations. If you need to speak to your neighbor, please take it outside because it's very distracting to us. Plus, we hear your entire conversation. So you may not want that. The other thing is that for many of you, this is your first time being here. So I'm going to repeatedly explain the rules because I want you to be able to participate if you'd like to. In the back, there's public speaking cards. If you choose to speak on an item, go ahead and do that now. You can later on change your mind and say, I don't want to speak on it, but once public comment is closed, you will not be able to speak. So public comment comes before the commission speaks, and then it's closed, and then the commission speaks, okay? So if anybody wants, go ahead and do that. You give it to the clerk, but once public comment is closed, it's closed. Okay, Mauricio?
Okay, the first item we'll be considering tonight is a zoning application, 5A. And it's an application requested by Sunny Smart Corp. as the applicant for a conditional use for a child daycare facility at the property located at 17395 Collins Avenue. Before we start, I need to read the zoning opening statement. 1 second. So it reads, ladies and gentlemen, this evening's agenda has one zoning application, and the City Commission will be conducting public hearings to review and consider these applications. In these matters, the City Commission sits in a quasi-judicial capacity and will hear testimony from city staff, the applicants, and members of the public. The materials attached to the agenda are considered part of the record, as well as any additional documentary evidence that is introduced and accepted into the record during the hearing. If you intend to speak or provide testimony on any zoning application, you must be sworn in by the city clerk and should also fill out a public speaker's card and give it to the city clerk before the agenda item is called. When you are called to speak, please state your name and on the record, your address, and whether you've been sworn in. Please make your comments concisely. As a matter of procedure, the city staff will present first. After city staff has made their presentations, the applicant will make their presentation in support of their application. Thereafter, the hearings will be open to members of the public to speak in support of or against the pending application. The City Commission may set reasonable time limits for members of the public to speak. After members of the public speak, both staff and the applicants may make additional statements or rebuttal, and the applicants have the right to cross-examine any witness. Thereafter, the public hearing portion of the item will be closed, and the Commission will commence deliberations and make a decision on the application. Ultimately, the decision made by the City Commission at the conclusion of the hearing must be based upon competent substantial evidence which has been presented during the course of the hearing and must adhere to the essential requirements of the law. Competent substantial evidence is defined as evidence that is sufficiently relevant and material that a reasonable mind would accept as adequate to support the conclusion reached, and includes the documentary evidence in the record, the city's staff report, comments or opinions of professional staff, fact-based comments of neighbors, residents, and laypersons, and opinion testimony, but only witnesses who are qualified as experts. Competent substantial evidence does not include conjecture, speculation, or generalized opinions or statements in support or in opposition to the matter. Attorney testimony is generally not competent substantial evidence unless the attorney has some expertise in a relevant area. And 1 second. So, in accordance with the LDRs of the City of Sunny Isles Beach, all items to be heard today have been legally advertised, notices have been mailed, and posted on the properties. All persons wishing to speak at this hearing, please raise your right arm to be sworn in. Anyone
Just
that
for
will be
this
speaking?
item, just for this item.
Just this item. Do you swear the testimony you're about to give is the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth, so help you God?
I do.
Thank you. And before we continue with the Assistant Planning and Zoning Director, are there any ex parte communications that the commission needs to disclose?
None, no.
None.
Not me.
Nobody. Lama?
Yeah, you
But
could say yes.
This, okay.
For this item, yes.
And what was the
Mhm, for
nature
this one.
of the conversation
I spoke with the owner, with the applicant.
about the application itself? Okay. Thank you. Brittany.
Thank you, Mauricio. My name is Brittany Austin. I am the Assistant Planning and Zoning Director, and I'm filling in for the director while she's on leave. So, do we have the presentation? Sorry. Okay. This evening, we'll be discussing zoning hearing PZ 2026-07. It is a conditional use application for Sunny Smart Daycare. And the applicant, Sunny Smart Corp., is requesting approval of a child daycare facility within Unit 103 of Winston Towers Plaza. The applicant has been in this location since 2022 as an activity center. However, she was recently required by the Department of Children and Families to update her local licensure to reflect a child daycare use. So the Winston Towers Plaza is located in the RMF2 zoning district, where child daycare facilities are permitted upon the approval of a conditional use application. And conditional uses are those which impact the surrounding neighborhood and must be evaluated on a case-by-case basis. So for example, in the case of a daycare, you have people coming and going 2 times a day for child pickup and drop-off, and you have noises created by outside play areas. There are 7 conditional use criteria which must be met in order to grant approval. Each of these are evaluated in detail on pages 4 through 6 of the staff report provided to you in your agenda. And we can go through these one by one at the end of the presentation if it is the pleasure of the commission to do so. But staff has found that all of these criteria have been satisfied. So once all of the conditional use criteria are met, the specific use standards in the city's land development regulations must be evaluated. So part of the conditions of approval are that the applicant meet the standards for child daycare facilities, namely parking and stacking. In 1996, a parking variance was granted for the shopping plaza, requiring the property to maintain a minimum of 48 parking spaces. And currently, there are 51 spaces provided, exceeding the minimum required amount of parking for this plaza. 5 automobile stacking spaces are required for daycares with more than 60 children. So the stacking requirement for both daycares within the plaza, the one that's being proposed and the existing one in Unit 102, are satisfied with the reservation of these 5 spaces for the daycares. So this agreement between the tenant and the landlord is to be recorded in a declaration of restrictions, sorry. So Miami-Dade County establishes the minimum standards for outdoor play area. Children up to 5 years old require 45 feet per child, calculated in terms of half of the maximum number of children for attendance at the school at any one time. So children between the ages of 6 and 9 years old require 500 square feet per child. With a total outdoor play area of 712 square feet, the application is deficient in meeting the area needs of all children outside at one time. To meet the space requirements per child, only 15 preschool children or 1 elementary age child are permitted in the play area at one time. So Miami-Dade County also...
Let me just stop you for a second. Can we get some chairs, please? You did? Okay, thank you.
Okay. Miami-Dade County also establishes the minimum standards for classroom area. Instructional area is calculated by subtracting out all kitchen areas, corridors, bathrooms, hallways, and any space that isn't used strictly for the instruction of children. Children up to 5 years old require 35 square feet per student of instructional area. Elementary school students require 30 square feet per student. The total area required for all of the children proposed by the applicant is 2,080 square feet. The facility only has a total of 2,007 square feet. Therefore, the maximum number of children must be reduced to meet the required square footage per pupil. A deficiency of 73 square feet means that there are either 3 too many preschool children or 3 too many elementary school children. Therefore, if the total amount of children is reduced by 3 from either age group, the instructional area requirement is met. So staff recommends approval of this application with the following conditions: that future permits and license applications made to the city will be in substantial accordance with the plans approved in this conditional use application, that the applicant will obtain all necessary permits and licenses from external agencies, that the proposed daycare facility shall comply with the specific use regulations, that no more than 15 preschool children or 1 elementary school child shall be permitted in the outdoor play area at one time, no more than 60 children shall be enrolled at any one time, and the 5 dedicated parking spaces shall be maintained for the duration of the child care facility use. And an amended declaration of restriction shall be recorded with the Miami-Dade Clerk of Court. The approved conditional use shall be valid for a period of 24 months. And within that time, the applicant has to apply for the local business tax receipt and the certificate of use is what that means. The applicant complies with all local, state, and federal laws. And that's it.
Thank you. Does the applicant want to say a few words? You don't have to. You'd like to? Okay, please. There are some extra seats in the front if you'd like to. There's 2 at least up here if you want to come. There's 1. Go ahead. No?
Good evening, honorable commissioners, city representatives, and everyone present today. My name is Wendy Gale. I'm the Sonia Smart Corp owner. I would like to sincerely thank you for having me and giving me the opportunity to explain our program. We truly appreciate your time, attention, and continued commitment to the children and family of Sunny Isles Beach. Sonia Smart has proudly served this community since 2018. We originally opened it as a gymnastics center for children and adults. As we recognize the community needs for additional and educational activities, we approached the city and received approval to expand our program to include ballet, art, martial arts, science, and continue with the gymnastic classes. Over the years, our program has continued to grow in response to the needs of local families. Many parents have asked for the children to remain with us for a longer period of time so they can participate in several structured classes. This is why, in order to keep children few hours per day, DCF, Department of Children and Families, recommend us to change from instructional school to childcare. In order to change for childcare, we need approval for the city of Sunny Isles Beach. For this reason, we respectfully request the city assistant in updating our certificate of use to childcare in order for us to be in compliance with the Department of Children and Families. We are fully committed to work transparently with every department and comply with all applicable safety, licensing, and operational requirements. Thank you for your time, consideration, and continued support of Sonia Smart and the families we proudly serve.
Thank you. Nice touch with the cute picture. Mauricio, do we have public speakers?
We do. And just before I call up the first speaker, I want to note for the record that we did receive some correspondence. One was from Richard DeWitt from Government Law Group, and the other one is from Mr. Stuart Briggsgill, who will be speaking and happens to be the first one.
All right. If there's anyone that wants to speak on the item, this is your opportunity before I close the public comment. So you can go ahead and take out a public speaking card on this item. Please go ahead.
Thank you, Ms. Mayor. If you can start the clock after I give my customary hello.
We can, but I just want to remind everyone that all your comments are directed towards me, the chair, and we don't go back and forth. So we don't answer questions. You have your 3 minutes. It's your time to say almost anything you want.
Mayor, it's not my first time at a podium, but thank you.
Thank you.
Mayor, I'd like to thank you very much for being a great mayor and hosting one of the best cities in Miami-Dade County. I'd like to thank all councilmen. I'd also like to point out our city manager and our city attorneys being great additions to this city. I think without would be a detriment to the city. I've submitted a more detailed letter for the official records, so I'll keep my comments brief. I understand tonight's applications for conditional use of daycare, and it's not itself a rezoning of the property, which would mean 70 units per 1 acre and 190 feet approximately. My comments are not intended to oppose the childcare, to be clear. I understand that the larger concern is the future use of this property, and it's not that current zoning, as I mentioned. Whether the future developer can use the existing development rights to construct a more advanced high-rise as a result of changing the zoning, and instead utilize the capacity in any way to consider later, which would be too late, and would ask the city council and its planner to maybe consider using the variant to the actual business that's there and not to the property, which is also an option. I asked the city attorney some simple questions. If the property were sold to a developer tomorrow, what current prevents that developer from pursuing a high-rise residential building, taking advantage of the additional allowances that have been given here possibly tonight? If the daycare application is approved, which I hope it is, I ask the approval for specifically state it grant no additional height, density, intensity, floor area, redevelopment rights, or precedent for future development as a result of this acceptance. Finally, I asked the commissioner to direct the city attorney and planning department to investigate the lawful, permanent way to protect that property at North Bay Roads neighborhood from inappropriate high-rise development beyond the current statute before a development application is filed. Again, reminding everyone in the audience, it's already approved for 190 foot, which is approximately 20 stories. I asked the commissioner as well, thank you very much for tonight. And again, I would like to direct a personal thank you from Winston Tower 600 to our city attorney, our city manager, and our direct counsel people, for without it, we wouldn't be on the cusp of finishing our 50 year. Thank you, Mayor.
Thank you. Thank you very much. Do we have any other speakers?
No other speakers, ma'am.
Okay, so I'm closing public comment. Going once? All right. Public comment is closed. I'll take comments or questions from the commission. Commissioner
have one
Joseph, go ahead.
question.
You have the floor.
Yes, thank you. So I noticed there's a typo at item 5A, Mercio. It shows the address is 17395 Collins Avenue. That's incorrect?
1 second.
Should be North Bay Road.
Brittany, could you confirm the address?
Yes, the address is 17395 North Bay Road, Suite 103.
North Bay Road.
So under what address was the publishing done?
I'm sorry?
Under what address was the publishing done?
No, the notice was published correctly.
Okay,
It's
that's what
just listed on the title of the
Okay,
agenda.
that's what I
correctly.
wanted to make sure of. Okay, thank you.
That's it?
Yes.
All right. Commissioner Stewart, any questions?
No.
All right. Vice Mayor?
Well, I don't have any questions per se, but City Attorney, did you have an opportunity to read the letters that were sent to us today or no?
I did.
Did you have any comment on? I'll tell you my. I guess I do have a question. The one from GLG government mentions. Let me see. Could you pull that? That the conditional approval use solely authorizes Sunny Smart Core to operate the facility, and any change of the lease or operator requires a submittal. That's probably addressed within our procedures, but
It's actually, your code's not written that way. It's
Okay.
not for the individual owner. It's actually for it's a zoning item, right? So it's for the property itself and the unit. Certainly, if there's a subsequent owner that comes in and deviates from the operation or the use of that particular zoning conditional use, they have to come back to the city. Even this operator, if they deviate from what's approved or if approved this evening, they would have to come back to the city and approve that deviation through you or through the city manager, but it typically would be through you. But it wouldn't be appropriate to condition it on the one property owner, only because your code really doesn't account for that, and you really can't amend your code through a condition of one of your resolutions. So I would say no to that.
Okay, thank you.
And just briefly to Mr. Brigsdale's point, what's being approved tonight would not impact the developability of the particular project or that particular structure. That would be guided by your code, it's not impacted at all.
Great, thank you. Commissioner Lama, any questions?
No, no questions.
All right, I'll take a motion.
So moved.
I need a second.
I'll second.
Mauricio?
Commissioner Lama,
Yes.
Commissioner Joseph,
Yes.
Commissioner Stuyvesant,
Yes.
Vice Mayor Vizcarra,
Yes.
Mayor Svechin.
Yes,
The application is approved 5-0.
thank you. No clapping, please. No clapping. Okay, next item, please.
Next item is ordinances for second reading. 8A is an ordinance of the City Commission of the City of Sunny Isles Beach, amending ordinance number 2025-635, approving budget amendment number BA 2025-03 to the city's operating and capital improvement budget for the 2025-2026 fiscal year, authorizing the city manager to do all things necessary to implement the terms and conditions of this ordinance and providing for an effective date.
Okay, ladies and gentlemen, there are a lot of you, so even if you're whispering, and there's a few of you doing that, it sounds really loud up here, so please. Okay, go ahead. Who's it presenting?
Mayor, Vice Mayor, members of the commission, this is a second reading of our budget ordinance that transfers funds for a citywide security project that includes supporting public safety initiatives, including the drone program, CCTV cameras at bus stops, and a real-time crime center video hyperwall system.
Okay, thank you. Are there any public speakers?
Yes, ma'am. Stephen Hirsch.
Okay,
Stephen Hirsch, 17201 Collins. Good evening. After the first reading of this proposal that obviously passed and will likely be passed tonight, during the last month I've had several questions from people inquiring as to the money that is being moved around for this appropriation. And a lot of it was directed to the need for its intended purpose, which is to increase the public safety of all of our residents in this city. The explanation is clearly that a police department, to be successful, and I say this just with my years of background, not just that I have no knowledge of how police departments should be operated, but clearly there's a few things that are required. First, of course, professionally qualified personnel. There's no question we have that. And I believe, if I'm not incorrect, this is one of the first times in a while that we're fully funded of our staffing, which is excellent. Second matter is proper training. There's no question our officers are very well trained in service training. Third is the current public standards, policies, and procedures being certified by the Commission for Law Enforcement in 2023 guarantees our officers have that continued training. But finally, the most important one, in my opinion, is that officers must have state-of-the-art equipment and technology to protect our residents and to be able to protect property, identify, arrest suspects as quickly as possible. The allocated appropriation is to improve the various programs that our city manager just stated. And in particular, it will integrate more than 10 different individual law enforcement systems that the police department already has right now. It'll integrate them into one particular system. In particular is the real-time crime center. I'll talk about that when we get to that resolution item later. But for every expenditure, the city should explain to our residents how this improves their quality of life, the dollars transferred by this ordinance, and the way that the money has been appropriated leaves no question of how residents will benefit from a safer Sunny Isles Beach. Thank you.
Thank you. Do we have any more speakers?
No other speakers, ma'am.
All right, public comment is closed. I'll take questions or comments from the commission. Commissioner Joseph, go ahead.
No, I'm good with it.
Okay, Commissioner Lama,
No, I'm good. Thanks.
Vice Mayor,
I'm okay for now.
Commissioner Stuyvesant. Okay, I'll take a motion.
Motion.
Second.
Mauricio?
Commissioner Joseph,
Yes.
Commissioner Stuyvesant.
Yes.
Vice Mayor Viscara,
Yes.
Commissioner Lama,
Yes.
Mayor Svetchin.
Yes.
The ordinance passes 5-0.
Okay, next item.
Next item is in resolution sections, and it's 9A, a resolution approving a sublease agreement with High Center of Sunny Isles Beach for a portion of parcel number 7756, known as Bella Vista Bay parking lot, for the development and maintenance of a public playground and garden.
Okay, thank you. Mr. City Manager?
Mayor, Vice Mayor, members of the commission, we have been in discussions with High Center of Sunny Isles, who have expressed an interest to build and operate a public recreation area in an unused open green space area that we are the lessors for from the Florida Department of Transportation. There's no funding required for the approval of this sublease, and FDOT will not charge rent, and the full cost of the design, construction, and maintenance of the area will be the responsibility of High Center as an affiliate of the Jewish Community Center.
Okay, thank you. Do we have public speakers?
Yes, ma'am. Rabbi Alexander Keller.
Good evening,
Hello, Rabbi.
Honorable Mayor, members of the Commission. I want to start tonight by thanking the members of the community that are here to support us, that are here to support this issue. And at the same time, it's somewhat bittersweet. Isn't it ridiculous that so many people had to come out to support a playground and a community garden? And the reason being, I'm sure you all know by now, that after 3 years of us petitioning the Florida Department of Transportation to create additional public parking that will benefit everyone, and creating this park that will benefit the children in our community, unfortunately, there is some opposition, or there was some opposition against this. And I don't say these words lightly, but the reason for this opposition is hatred, the oldest hatred of them all. It's called anti-Semitism. Last night when I sent a message to the members of the community saying, please come out, support us because we may face some opposition, a neighbor of the anti-Semite sent me a message. I know who that is. That person was not in the synagogue on Shabbat when I spoke about this and actually did not know that today this issue was going to be discussed. And the person says, I know it's probably her because we have people praying in our building, and she tried fighting that also. And every time this person is openly expressing her feeling towards the Jewish people. So I would like to request from you, the Honorable Commission, to approve this, of course, for the benefit of our community, for the benefit of our children. But I also think that this approval tonight, God willing, if we will receive it, is going to be resounding no to the hatred and resounding yes to the unity and to the community that we all live in this beautiful city. It's the first time, I think, ever, correct me if I'm wrong, that a public playground or park garden is being built with the charity money, with the community money, with the grant of a Cotavelli family who are graciously supporting this endeavor. And we are here for the community, and we hope that you, our elected officials, our fellow citizens and residents, are going to see this project favorably and to continue to support our community. Thank you.
Thank you, Rabbi.
The next speaker is Bulis. I'm sorry, it's a little difficult to read. Bulis, Bulis. Yeah, no, not Felix. Bulis Dubrinker. Boris. Okay. Boris.
All right.
Apologize.
Ladies and gentlemen, I just want to please remind you, no clapping, please. The rabbi gets clapping, but that's it. That's it.
Good evening.
Hello, Boris. If you could get a little bit closer, please.
Good evening, Mayor. Good evening, Commissioners. First, I will quickly introduce myself. As I am Boris Dobrivka, I'm working for my Dade County Public Schools for almost 33 years with not English-speaking students, making a difference in any ways with them. Today, and I make only one question. Children is my first priority. And I believe that this playground is supposed to be given to children, not to business. Thank you.
Thank you, sir. Okay.
Dana Goldman.
Okay.
Dana Goldman, 308 Poinciana Island Drive, Sunny Isles Beach, Florida. I've seen firsthand this shul and the vibrancy and the wonderful energy that this synagogue brings to our entire community and our city. And I'm in complete support of the initiative, which is no cost to the city, to bring playground and to serve the children and part of the community. So wholesale support for this initiative.
Thank you. Next speaker.
Mike Weiss.
Hi, Mike. Just your name and address for the record, please.
Mike Weiss, 17150 North Bay Road. Hello, and thank you. My son goes to the school in the Chabad building, and we've been in the community now for 3 years, and we've watched the school grow year after year. And it's amazing to see these kids flourish in the environment and the environment of the community of the Chabad Center. And what breaks my heart as still a kid who grew up in Long Island in Suffolk County, and we had a lot of playgrounds and woods, and we had yards and football fields and tracks. And I understand it's a little bit different in this scenario, but it breaks my heart to see them stuck under a bridge in a 20 by 20 square of concrete, going through shoes every 2 months from just running back and forth 20 feet this way, 20 feet this way, 20 feet this way. And they're kids. And the unfortunate thing is that the grass is right there, but it's not really safe because it's kind of a little muddy. And so we have something that's needed by the kids, which is an expanded area to play, which is very important for the development and growth. And I think now it's funded, and I think it would be a big bonus for the community and for the city to be able to, get the green light on this. And it's not also just for the kids in that building, but it's also for the kids in the next building. Because one of the things that is a little dangerous is crossing 163rd. And so it's not really possible for the kids in the Chabad Center and the schools there to go down and cross, because that is a beautiful park with a big field, and it's a great facility, but it's dangerous to cross. So for the buildings on that side of 163rd, particularly up by Chabad, I think it's going to benefit the entire community. Thank you.
Thank you.
Felix Sukovitsky.
Felix Sukovitsky, 18625 Atlantic Boulevard, Sunny. So we're here today to talk about cheerful subject, apparently, children's playground. Who in a sane mind would oppose children's playground? Anybody? But, and I apologize to everybody, I lack diplomatic skills of Rabbi Collar. So I call things for what they are. Okay? So what we're dealing with, and this is why there are so many people here today, because they all feel the way I do, except I speak straight. We have a very dirty and filthy disease. It's called anti-Semitism. It's here, okay? And let's be straight, we all know who that person is. Natalia Wilson,
Sir.
the owner of
Sir,
Mickens.
we have rules of decorum here. We try very hard not to slander anyone, especially when they're not in the audience. You may
I'll
keep
do
going.
my best.
Thank you.
Sorry, Mayor. But we know who that is. So, anyways, we left USSR not to deal with that. And here we are, we're dealing with that. It's like any disease, it should be brought up to light, okay? And what I'm here to ask the management of the city, please do not become a tool of anti-Semite. When you see anti-Semite complaint from anti-Semite, see it for what it is, okay? Thank you.
Thank you, sir.
No other speakers.
No other speakers. Okay. I'll take comments or questions from the commission. Anyone? Commissioner Lama?
I think the city's been cooperating with the, I mean, I feel like there's a disconnect here. I'm not understanding the issue here, to be honest with you. I think the city, we've been pro this playground from the beginning.
So, Mr. City Manager,
I know there's been some negotiations, so I don't know exactly
I
what
think
is
that
the issue.
you're making a good point, because
Yeah.
if you can just give a little bit of background to give some context here and some of the opposition that there was about this project, and then how that opposition changed, it would be helpful.
Sure. We've been working for a number of years with Rabbi Cowler in an effort to try to, assist and work out some of the details with different things, including the playground. So at either the last meeting or the one before that, there was some opposition from one resident regarding this moving forward. So it created a little bit of controversy, but I think the city's position has always been clear and working to help the community. So the issue is that we as a city are not the owner of the property, but the Florida Department of Transportation. So the Florida Department of Transportation requires that any use of the property would have to be through us as the lease of the property. So therefore, we had to get FDOT's approval, and in working with Rabbi Cowler, that was done, and now we're here before you today.
Okay, thank you. Does that clarify it?
Yeah, I just wanted to get some context. I didn't understand some of the comments, so that's why.
Yes, there was
Because I
some-
know from the city, there was always a willingness to work with the Chabad.
There was an opposition that was sent to FDOT by a neighbor, and that's
Okay.
the reason for it.
Thank you.
Okay, Commissioner
Yes.
Joseph, any comments?
No, I'm 100% comfortable with it, 100% for it, and I'm just looking for it to move forward.
Okay, thank you. Commissioner Stewart, any comments?
Yeah, I have a few. So I want to start with the timeline. This was brought to us as a discussion item back in January 2023, 3 years ago. And at that moment, it didn't move forward because we were working in the Park and Recreation Master Plan. Am I right?
Go ahead, Ms.
That wasn't the reason why nothing happened that I'm aware of.
So what was the reason back then not to move forward with this project 3 years ago?
Yeah, we'd have to look at the record.
Okay, because then it is a shame that knowing that the community needed this, we didn't do what we could do back then to make sure that this playground, this park was built. It's been 3 years, and I can say for myself that I homeschooled my son for 2 years. So I was an avid user of parks, playgrounds, etc. So I wish this was built before and not now, so all the kids had the opportunity to use this for 3 years. Now, this came as an item back in June of this year, and it was pulled out at the last moment, that day of the meeting, and now it's coming back in August. Can you please tell us the difference between the contract in June to this one, to the agreement? Anybody?
Go ahead, Mr. City Manager.
Yeah, I think part of the history of this is there was some challenges with FDOT because they did not want to enter into a sublease of their leasee. So that was originally the holdup and the challenge, and that was able to be worked through. And once that was cleared for us, then we could now do an agreement that they could sublease with us, whereas originally FDOT was not amenable to having someone other than the city occupy the property.
If I can add also, part of the issue, FDOT has a lot of restrictions, and in drafting this sublease, which I drafted along with FDOT, they have a lot of conditions. And part of it was the back and forth and the responsibility in working with Rabbi Kaller, who was going to be responsible for certain things. And there was a non-restricted hour type of situation where it would be open all the time and every day. And that was a bit of a burden for the Chabad to take on. So there were negotiations back and forth. So when it was scheduled last time, we pulled it back because we were talking with the rabbi to try to mitigate some of those responsibilities that would be laid solely on the Chabad, because that was a concern the rabbi had. So we had to go back to FDOT, and in dealing with FDOT, we had agreed with the rabbi that they would dictate the hours, although it would be open to the public, they would dictate the hours and the days and so on and so forth, because our parks are not consistent in hours. The different parks have different, and as the deputy city manager had alluded to, I believe on Tuesday, that area, because of the bridge and the lighting, the hours have to be mitigated for that too, because the lighting is not always perfect at the same time as other parks are. So FDOT wanted to have specific hours and specific days, so they had us put that back in. So that's why now the difference between what was here in June is there is a time from 8 a.m. to 1 hour before sunset, and it's Monday through Sunday. And that was a requirement that FDOT wanted to put in there. So there's been a lot of back and forth with FDOT, and that's part of the delay.
Okay, thank you.
So also I saw something, the resolution says that it is allowed to build a playground. However, the contract with FDOT doesn't say that. Actually, it names everything except a playground. And we do need a playground or something like that if this is directed for the children. The resolution says minimal playground equipment, but like I said, in the FDOT approved use, it doesn't mention the playground. Actually, I think it was taken out. So,
And what agreement are you referring to? The use? Which agreement?
The resolution says a playground, and the FDOT use agreement doesn't mention. It says
But that's why we have we're waiting on the addendum to be signed, and that's one of the contingencies of any approval tonight, is we're waiting for the final signature from FDOT on the addendum that you all approved with regards to the use. And the limitation in the actual sublease agreement because it says limited, I believe it says.
But how can we approve it? We don't have the addendum already of FDOT approved.
Because it's you're going to approve it contingent on FDOT doing that. And if FDOT signs it, you're good.
And if FDOT
If they don't, then we can't sign the sublease. So that's the contingency that is on this evening.
And another thing here, it doesn't protect either the Shabbat or the community, because it says specifically that for any reason, they can terminate this contract within 30 days.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
It's their property.
Correct. So precisely, so I do believe completely that we should be building this, and that we do need that area, and that we need the playground. I just think we are doing this in the wrong process. It should be the responsibility of the city to build it, maintain it, open and close. The rabbi and the community can do a much better use of the money that they're going to be putting to build something that then a different commission, FDOT or whoever, can come and say, you have to vacate in 30 days. So, like I said at the very beginning, it's really,
the same thing would happen under the causeway.
it is very unfortunate that if we needed this for so long and we knew about it, why are we not making this one of the priorities? Right now, we are building the budget. We're going to be talking about the budget, and we're going to be approving the budget in 3 weeks or so. The first hearing is going to be September 8th. We should be including that actually today. We have here in the agenda Bella Vista Park, some contract with the architect. We just need to expand the scope and make sure that we put this as a priority in our budget. We build it, and then the whole community can use it according to the time set up with FDOT. So this is the right thing with the wrong process. You guys should not be paying for it. It should be the city. The city has around $100 million in reserve. Why are we going to take the money of the Chabad to build a public park that is going to be used by everyone? This instrument just doesn't make any sense. So again, we want to build it. We should be building, and it should be part of an inventory of playgrounds. So we keep it, we maintain it, we have the liability, and you guys are going to be using it whenever you want. And then
If Chabad does it, it will take a quarter of the
Ladies and
time.
gentlemen, I'm going to ask you to please not clap. We need to get through this.
So I haven't finished. And if you're unfortunate that I think this commission, and especially our police department, do a fantastic job to make sure that our Jewish community feels safe everywhere, from corner to corner of Sonny Isles. And I really want to say sorry for whatever feeling you're having of that you are hated or there is anti-Semitism in the community. I personally haven't experienced that, and I hope that you guys don't feel it's the common of our city, because it is not. Talking about the rumors that are being circulated about this specific issue, was contacted by the lady that we were making reference to, and I have one conversation with her in her restaurant, and funny enough, the thing she wanted to talk to me about it was issues that she was having with the HOA in her restaurant. That was mainly the conversation. Also, they were feeling targeted by our code enforcement with the parking. And I said, me myself, I had gotten tickets when visiting the Chabad there. So everybody's feeling targeted by the code enforcement. I only think the code enforcement is doing their job. So I don't think anybody here is asking code enforcement to go specifically to any location. And with FDOT, I had never spoken to them even once about this specific issue. Nothing about parking, that everyone wants more parking, nothing about the playground, nothing that has to do at all with this agreement. I wish I had been part of this conversation 3 years ago, so I would have pushed as much as I could to make sure that instead of building this right now, we should be building this 3 years prior. So, like I said,
It would probably be finished right now.
It should be finished a long time by now. So, like I said, I wish my commission can agree to put this as a priority in our budget to make sure that it gets built as soon as possible, and that the Russian Chabad doesn't have to put any money for it. It has to be by the city. Thank you.
Okay. Are there any other comments?
I just think for myself that with the Chabad doing the construction, it will take a quarter of the time that it would take the city. Just look at Intracoastal Park.
All right. So for clarification and for the record, there's space in the city that's owned by FDOT. Many of you have probably heard this before. So any plans that we have, that anyone has to build anything on FDOT land it's risky, because at any point they can come in and say, we need the space to do whatever it is we need to do to fix the bridge, or just because they want it back. That's why we have not built anything under the William Lehman, because that's their land. And likewise, this is the same thing. Additionally, because we have a process, and we talked about this actually earlier in the workshop about that process, we are limited legally to how we choose architects, contractors, all of those things. We have to put out a bid. That's one of the reasons, there are others, that it takes longer for the city to build something versus a private entity. And so if the city was to build anything, especially on land we don't own, it would require an extensive conversation, especially since we can't approve or even motion to approve something that doesn't have a price tag, because that is, in the end, your money, and we can't just be approving a blank check. I thank the Caravelli family. Thank you. I know you're here to represent. You have always been so generous with the shul, with the school. I know you since you were a little boy. And it's really a testament to this community how you all came out in support, because especially looking around at many of you, I'm sure your kids are not going to be using the playground, your grandkids maybe. So it is really wonderful to see. And to comments made about anti-Semitism. Anti-Semitism is real. It's in this community. Someone that's not Jewish, Commissioner Stewardson, you wouldn't feel it and you wouldn't see it. But those that do. From what you would call potentially a minor infraction, like a swastika and pencil somewhere, to major things like very historical tropes about Jews and money, and how I would support Israel because the Jews give me money. Those are the kind of things that's anti-Semitism. I urge everyone to look up the IRA definition of anti-Semitism, which we have resolved here. The state has resolved, the county has. This is a big deal, and we can't let any small thing go. We, as a community, regardless if you're Jewish, because they first come for the Jews and then they come for everyone else, we have to work as a community to stamp it out. But more so, I also want to urge all of you. You came here because the rabbi urged you, and this is super important. But I want you to come more often for things that are important to you, because it matters and your voice absolutely matters, and you not even saying anything, being here, makes a huge difference of how the commission responds to any item or votes on any item. So thank you all for doing that. No, please no clapping. All right. If there's no other comments from the commission, I'll take a motion.
I'll make a motion.
I'll second.
Okay, all in favor?
And Mayor, just to clarify again, the contingency is you're approving contingent on FDOT signing the addendum.
Correct.
Correct.
Okay, do we need a new motion based on that? No. No, we have a motion on the table. We have a second.
Yes.
All in favor?
I reaffirm.
Aye.
Okay.
Aye.
Aye.
Anyone opposed?
No, and by clarification, we have also built a lot under the causeway. What we are doing wrong right now is that we are making the community pay for something that the city should be paying for, and they should not be responsible or liable for this.
Okay, it's not a genuine statement because it's not something that we can agree to tonight. All right, ladies and gentlemen, we're going to take a 5-minute break because I know some of you want to leave. I am not encouraging anyone to leave. The item has been approved. I would ask for you to stay because it's good to stay and check it out, but I want to give everyone 5 minutes so that way it's not disruptive to the process. So we will be back at 7:33. Commissioner Joseph, set a good example by coming back up. All right, gentlemen in the back, if you're staying, please have a seat. Okay. Okay, very dramatic. All right, we are back on. Mauricio, next item, please, 9B.
9B is a resolution approving an agreement with Millennium Products for the furnishing and installation of CCTV cameras at 22 bus stop locations throughout the city.
Okay, Mr. City Manager.
Mayor, Vice Mayor, members of the commission, this continues our commitment to public safety, and it will include the installation of 22 cameras at bus stops throughout the city.
Okay. Do we have any public speakers?
We do.
Okay.
Carolina Cruz Gonzalez.
Hi, your name and address for the record.
Sure. Good evening. Carolina Cruz Gonzalez, 17125 North Bay Road. So I'm here tonight to support this project. Collins Avenue is one of the busiest areas in our city. Every day, residents, students, seniors, workers, and visitors use these bus stops and sidewalks. This investment will help make those areas safer. These cameras will help deter crime, improve emergency response, support investigations, and enhance traffic safety. Most importantly, they will give residents greater peace of mind when using our public spaces. I respectfully encourage the Commission to approve this item.
Thank you. Any other speakers?
Yes, ma'am. David Virgil.
Okay.
Good evening, Mayor, Vice Mayor, and Commission. My name is David Virgil. My address is 17500 North Bay Road, Sunny Isles Beach. I believe the addition of these new cameras will help police better identify suspects if there's ever a theft or some crime at a bus stop. It would also help police investigate any accidents that occur in the nearby vicinity of the bus stops. So I am in full support of this because this will enhance public safety in the city, and it will continue to improve our quality of life. So thank you.
Thank you, David.
No other speakers.
All right. I'll take any questions or comments from the commission. I'll take a motion then.
Well, I just, because I wasn't present at the agenda review, I had made a comment over the phone actually regarding our police camera wall, our wall that we have. Yeah, the tech wall. So I had asked how many actual shots, camera shots, can the wall see at one time? And apparently they're constantly changing. Is that correct?
So, Mr. City Manager, if you want to clarify that. And you were on the phone for the meeting.
Yes.
So, okay. Yes.
Assistant
I was
Chief,
very
please,
active that day.
Thank you.
Hello, Honorable Mayor, Vice Mayor, and Commissioners. Yes, to your point, we can see 64 cameras at once, but what is unique about our system is we use analytics. So there are different alarms we can set. If there's an anomaly and the camera detects that, it will preemptively set an alert. So we've had great success using that, and it works well, honestly.
Yeah, so that's what I had asked at the agenda review. Let's say at the elevator,
correct,
at the crossover at Gateway,
the pedestrian bridge.
If there was an event, I said an event the other day, but I meant, a nefarious event.
Sure.
That immediately comes up on the camera or no?
It can, yeah. So right now we have an alarm set specifically to those elevators from, I believe it's midnight to about 5 a.m. So anytime somebody were to use the elevators, it will just pop up on the screen and we're watching them.
Okay. So. Yeah, so you don't have to have someone eyeing the screen constantly.
No, it's a force multiplier, so it's watching for us. But it works, and it works well.
Yeah. Okay. Thank you.
Sure.
Since you're up there, at one time, how many actual people are looking at the hyperwall and reviewing the footage?
So at the hyperwall specifically, right now, as it's constructed, it's whoever's in communications, right? So we've got an alpha and a bravo shift, so a day-night shift. There's an overlap So they would overlap 6 hours on each shift, and then there's a supervisor. There are people that run the software. I run it in my office all the time, Sergeant Konitz, and so there's eyes on it. You know, all the supervisors have access at their desktop, so a lot of them do run it when they're in the station. So it's monitored 24/7, right? Because our dispatch is, but the users, I mean, it just depends how many people are actually at the station.
And this was discussed during the agenda review, but just for the purposes, since we do have people in the audience.
Sure.
How long do we keep the footage for?
30 days.
30 days.
Correct.
Okay. And the cameras will be able to capture not just the actual interior of the bus stop, they'll also capture, depending on where we position it, parts of Collins Avenue.
Correct. It will. You know, the original intention was to set loitering alarms, so leveraging those analytics at the bus shelters. So if anybody were at the shelters, not for purposes of using the bus, right, it would generate an alert, and we could kind of get eyes on whatever that situation is and respond accordingly. It will see up and down the sidewalks and Collins Avenue, which will help us with the next item and give us perspective of the entire city.
Right. We have had in the past people that regrettably have gotten into some sort of either, you know, fender benders or car accidents that have assumed that we have video of it, but now in many places we will.
We will.
Okay.
Correct.
Did you want to add something?
And
Commissioner
my
Joseph?
area of North Bay Road I have covered.
You do. Getting in and out of Golden Shores, every single location.
Thank you. Anyone else have a comment? Okay, I'll take a motion.
Motion.
All right, all in favor?
Aye.
Thank you. Next item, please.
9C is a resolution approving an agreement with Millennium Products for the expansion of the police department's real-time crime center.
Mayor, Vice Mayor, members of the commission, this is going to bring together all of our technology in a central hub to be located within the police department.
Okay. Do we have any public speakers?
Stephen Hirsch.
Okay.
Stephen Hirsch, 17201 Collins. I support this resolution that greatly improves the public safety of our city. The successful accomplishment of the police department's mission increasingly depends upon timely, within seconds, notifications of incidents, not notifications after the incident is over. The Real-Time Crime Center brings together technologies that would otherwise operate separately. It integrates the live and recorded camera feeds, license plate readers, detections, alerts, can set analytics, as the Deputy Chief mentioned, investigative information, data from state and local enforcement partners, and its analytical tools are trained. Our personnel are trained in utilizing the analytical tools so they can connect information and communicate it to the officers in the field. Consider a reported burglary, stolen vehicle, or a missing endangered resident. While officers are responding, the Crime Center personnel can examine nearby cameras, search for a vehicle or license plate, determine its possible direction of travel, display the information on the map, identify potential threats to residents or officers, and check all connected law enforcement systems. Instead of officers arriving with only limited information provided during the original 911 call, officers can receive a description of the person involved, vehicle descriptions, last known locations, and any dangers they may encounter on the arrival of the scene. This supports a faster, safer, and better police response. After a crime, investigators can use the same system for follow-up and investigative work. My research disclosed through the company that this system provides shared video wall for live visual and viewing of the scene, monitored by up to 4 fully equipped workstations, mapping the software, and the ability for officers to do their work. The most important thing, though, to take from this is that this technology does not replace police officers or professional judgment. It makes them more effective. Approving the Real-Time Crime Center is an investment in officer safety, timely responses, stronger investigations, protection of property, and most importantly, the department's ability to protect lives in every type of situation. Thank you.
Thank you. Are there any other speakers?
David Virgil.
And if you're coming up a second time, you don't have to say your name and address for the record.
Good evening. My name is David Virgil. I believe this real-time crime center will continue to improve the safety of our police officers by allowing them to view the locations where they will respond to ahead of time, and that will enhance their safety and the safety of residents in the area. So I'm in full support of this item, and it's great to have this in our city. So thank you.
Thank you.
No other speakers.
Okay, I'll take a comment from the commission. Well, Commissioner Joseph, you've been going first a lot. Anyone else?
I'll go on this one. I think I think it was on the previous item that one of our speakers said that that this is an investment, and on our budget it looks like an expense, but it really is an investment, and obviously I support it.
Thank you, Commissioner Lama.
I just wanted to express, and give kudos to our police department, the staff that is making this possible. Obviously, we've implemented the drones. Our police department got the accreditation. When it comes to technology, they've been implementing a lot of new technologies. And this is the latest example of it. And I think it's just for the good of the community. And you see the results. I mean, anytime something happens, we are quick to take action and to arrest whoever needs to be arrested, et cetera, et cetera. So, I just want to express how happy I am that, these things are just working and you guys are doing a great job. Yeah.
Go ahead. Commissioner Stewart, would you like to say something?
Yeah, this is great. This is amazing. I totally support it. My only issue continue being with not having the vendor present. We are giving around $2 million in contract to one vendor. We should be able to congratulate them here for the product. Once again, the process is the problem, not the result. Nothing to you, it's okay. So you're going to do amazing. So as a best practice, we should be able to have the vendor here in case that we have even any questions about the product that we are giving all this money for. So I am in support of this. I am not in support of the lack of transparency when we are not having the vendor come to the meetings as if not a requirement or at least a request, so we can tell them, thank you for what you're doing for us.
Yes.
Commissioner Joseph?
So I would like to second that part of what Commissioner Fabiola said. When I became a commissioner in 2022, we had 54 officers, and I said at that time we needed to get to 75. And with this great commission, we've always supported our police department, and we're at 74 now? Close? So good, we're getting very close, and it's what we need to have full staff changing, right? Yeah, and with all the new equipment and all, we lead the state, the city leads the state. We're number one as far as bringing in new innovation, and that's what we intend to keep going with that.
Okay.
Thank you.
I'm not going to repeat what everyone else said. We love our police department. I would say we are the safest city in all of Florida, which says a lot, and it's not by accident. So these investments do make a huge difference. They continue to make the city safe. I am 100% trust your process, how you do things. If there's any questions, you are all available to answer them, and the vendor as well during the agenda review if we wanted to do it at that time. And the result is always good, and that is a testament to the work that you do, the processes that you have. Obviously, the accreditation is huge. So thank you. Thank you very much. All right. No clapping. I'll take a motion.
Motion.
A second. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. All right. 9C, please.
9C is a resolution approving an agreement with Millennium Products for the expansion, 9D.
Sorry, 9D. I apologize. Yeah. Okay.
9D is a resolution waiving the bidding requirements of Chapter 62 of the city's Code of Ordinances, approving an agreement with Vetted Security Solutions to provide maintenance and as-needed repairs to the city security cameras, hardware, and software.
Mr. City Manager?
Mayor, Vice Mayor, members of the commission, this company is the one that maintains the hardware and software for cameras. So my discussions with the police department in order to avoid any disruption of our surveillance system and continuing public safety. We want to approve a one-year agreement with the Vetted to waive the bidding requirements and participate in ongoing maintenance services for these cameras.
Thank you. Do we have public speakers?
No, ma'am.
Okay. Public comment is closed. Comments or questions from the commission?
So what are the warranties on these particular cameras? You know, that's another reason to be able to have the vendor here.
So it's 5 years on hardware and 1 year on software. For the,
Okay.
For the new
So,
cameras.
and we had several that have been replaced?
Oh, yes.
Yeah.
Numerous.
Right. And do we have a vandalism problem in the city?
We do not have a vandalism problem. I will say there was one site that it could have been, but we're not certain. So on one occasion, unfortunately, maybe.
Right. Okay. Thank you.
Okay.
Sure.
Thank you.
For what I understand here, is a 3-year service agreement, not 1 year. And because I was reading this, and once again here, I am not comfortable with the bidding or lack of bidding process. So we start with this company in 2022, then 2024, 26, and now we are asking for a 3-year agreement. That'll be 9 years and no bidding. And one of the reasons that I was reading here for that is due to the familiarity of this company with the software and the hardware, which, by the way, that's not for you, look, okay? Which is, by the way, is gonna be only growing by year. So we are not bidding because we've been working with them. So that means every year that we continue working and we're not bidding, that familiarity is growing. So it was gonna become like a monopoly. We are never gonna bid anyway because nobody's gonna have that familiarity. So here again, the process is what I am questioning, not the product. Nothing says that there is no competition or it's impracticable. It just says that we should be continue working with them because we've been working with them in the past. And now it's a 3 years agreement. If it's 1 year, I will feel maybe better with the condition that then is going to go out to bid. And maybe they're gonna be the winners because they're the best, probably. The point is that we cannot continue not bidding these kind of contracts because in this case specifically, like I said, the justification to continue with the vendor is because we've been working with them for a long time. So is it 1 year, is it 3 years? Because what they were asked here in page 238 is and approve a 3-year service agreement with a contractor to provide maintenance service to the city security environment. I just want to have the clarification, and if that's the case that we're doing an agreement for extra 3 years without bidding, then I cannot support this.
Yeah. Do you want to speak to that?
No.
I thought you had a question.
No.
Sorry.
Yeah, but it's not for look. I just want to know for the term that we are approving it, and the reason not to be bidding this project if we've been with the same company for 6 years.
Okay. I think Luke can answer because we
Okay.
discussed
Go ahead.
that. Sorry.
No, thank you.
So when we say familiarity, I mean, it's really more than just knowing the system, right? Like, so specifically with this real-time crime build out that we're doing, most agencies kind of just hang monitors on walls, right? But what Vetted is going to do is they're going to come in with a team of engineers and they're looking at what software we use on a daily basis. And it's going to be on this beautiful map, and they're going to pull in all of this software into one interface. So they're building this specifically for us. In addition to that, there's going to be automation. So say there's a robbery at 178th and Collins. Rather than, at present, we would have to go look at cameras on one software. We could launch a drone on another software. We could look at license plate readers on another software. I mean, just that process could take maybe 20 minutes, right? We're all familiar with the city, so geographically we're small. So what they're building for us is an automation where as soon as that information is put into our computer system, the information will automatically be displayed to the operators, right? So if there's a robbery, well, unfortunately at 178 in Collins, we hope by 180 the information is right there. A drone is launched, the camera feeds are live, we've got license plate readers. So those automations and those builds are very particular, right? And they are coming out, and they're really forward-thinking company, and leveraging the analytics and building the software. I don't know how practical it would be, not impossible, to bring somebody else in. I think it would be an exceptional cost. We did it. We went from one vendor who had been bought out several times, ultimately to a huge company. They were terrible, honestly.
That happens often.
It does, right? And every time they got bought out, it got worse and worse, and they got bigger and bigger. And unfortunately, it got to the point where the system wasn't working. So we had to pay an exceptional amount of money to come in because now it's other people's infrastructure that they've built, right? Conduit that they've laid and connections they've made, and it was inadequate. So we needed to spend a lot of money to get it up to par and get them to do agreements with us like this, because otherwise we're paying a GSA labor rate, which I believe is like $158 an hour. So, you know, if you look at what it would truly cost, it just makes a lot of sense in this particular scenario.
Yeah.
So I just have
Wait. Let Commissioner, she's got the floor, and then we'll move on.
No, and I totally agree with the process, and it's great. That's what I said. This is not about how they're going to be building it. I'm pretty sure that they are going to be great, and if they've been working with us for so long, it's a testament to how good they must be. Anyway, we're talking about technology, and it's changing by the second, you know? So that's what I said, that this was not a question for the product. It's more that for the process that we are doing to continue doing this. And that's my point, you know, right now we are getting into this contract for 3 years with this company, now knowing if tomorrow they get bought by a big company. And now we're going to be talking about exactly what you're talking right now. This can happen. So that scenario that you just said that happened with a previous vendor, once again, if we had a vendor here, they will be the ones asking those questions. And one question that I'll be asking that vendor will be, who's your competition? Right. And they will telling us right here, right now, which are the other companies that they're doing what they're doing. Probably they will say, well, what we do, only us do that, which is fine, you know. But my point is that we cannot continue relying in a process where we are just cutting our own procurement process. So that's what it makes me feel uncomfortable. And again, I want the clarification if this agreement is going to be for 1 year or for 3 years.
Okay.
It's up to 3, right?
Okay. No.
I think I said 1 year when we started, so. that
Yeah,
was
when we said
my
initially,
error.
the initial one was 1 year,
Yeah.
but this agreement is for 36 months.
Yes.
Correct. Okay. And that's the whole thing on my point. I had no doubt that what they do is incredible and it's amazing. And yes, it's hard to ever say no to you guys, ever, okay? Just it's almost impossible. In this event specifically, I do believe that best practice should be for us to do this agreement for 1 year, and then if there is no other vendor that can procure the same kind of service, then we're going to continue with them anyway. But if not, that's not the case, that the justification to continue with them is because they've been with us from the very beginning, then I do believe we should be doing invitation to bid to what was Commissioner Lama's point earlier today during our workshop.
May I?
Commissioner Joseph, let Vice Mayor speak, and then I'll give you the floor.
I think that given the scope of the work that we're talking about, I don't think 1 year is enough. And I support it the way that it is.
Okay, Commissioner Joseph?
Yes. So this company is supplying the hardware and the software, correct?
So they're an integrator. So Motorola owns what's called a Vigilon. It's like a subsidiary of Motorola.
Mhm.
That's the cameras we use.
Yes.
Right. So they're the integrator. They're the installer.
Okay. So
And software creator in this instance.
So over the 3 years, and you know how fast technology changes.
I do.
Do we have anything in the agreement that there are upgrades for the cameras involved, or no?
So we buy the cameras.
Yeah.
We
We're
don't lease
buying them, so we own them.
We do.
So we're stuck
So like
with
the
this.
software will update, right? So
Yeah.
there's versions that they can push out to the cameras to
I
make them
know.
better until they're end of life.
But let me tell you, because under the way technology is changing so fast, and with cameras, you know, bringing in AI technology every day.
Right.
I mean, did it make more sense for us to lease the cameras and then have them be able to upgrade as the new technology evolves?
I think that The only
Because right now,
company-
we're stuck with these cameras. In 2 years, they could be outdated.
So in 2 years, I don't think they would be, because it's you're looking at the video management system, right? So the software that's powering these cameras.
No, you're still going to have, the cameras are going to be working.
Right.
But there's always going to be newer technology.
Well, sure, there'll be newer technology. They make enhancements, though, to make them suit our needs. When they go through their life cycle, we have cameras that are 10 years old that are operating right now, and they work pretty well. And it's just cost prohibitive to switch, almost 500 cameras at once.
But do we know
So-
what the difference would have been to lease and
they,
have
they
the
wouldn't
ability?
offer leasing.
They
Motorola
do
wouldn't
it?
do that. Unfortunately, the only company that I've ever heard of that leases cameras is Flock. And if anybody's followed the media lately, they are, we don't have them for a reason, right? So that would be the only opportunity that I've ever heard of about leasing, unless you get into there's like government financing programs and pay 7% interest. So I wouldn't recommend it.
Okay. So right now, these cameras are the newest
They are.
technology.
They are.
That should at least be the newest technology for the next 6 months.
Correct. Correct.
Okay.
Okay, Commissioner Lama?
Yeah, so I think that, when it comes to software and systems, it's a long-term commitment. I mean, that's why you see companies and you see governments when they adopt some sort of software or system on how to operate, it cannot be for a year or even 2 years. I think it's a long-term commitment. Obviously, it doesn't mean that, 10 years down the road, you're, revisiting everything and you got to see if that system and the software that you have in place is still doing the job as intended. But yeah, when it comes to software integrations and systems, it's something that, it's very involved and you cannot just, bid it out all the time.
And also, if I may,
Yeah.
because it's custom built, like this
It
is
is.
something being done just for us. You don't want to get left hanging like in the middle of the project.
It would be disruptive.
If I may, we've been with them for 6 years already. 6. This is a maintenance agreement for 3 more. So everything is already done and it's going to continue. They're going to continue
understand.
integrating. But so to be accurate, we've been with the same company for 6 years now, and now we are adding 3 more without even going into the market to find out if there is anything better. So I'm not saying to get into a contract with a company for 1 year. We've been 6 years with them.
No, but you did
Wait.
mention
Can we
one
just
before.
listen?
When did we purchase these cameras?
Commissioner Joseph. Commissioner
And I
Joseph.
have a Motorola, by the way.
Hello, everyone. Can we remember that we have rules here?
Yes,
Please, 1 second. Commissioner Lama, did you have anything to add?
No. I mean, Commissioner Stewart had mentioned 1 year, so that's why I brought that up. When you're implementing systems and software, I know we've been with them for 6 years, and when it comes to software and systems, I don't think this is anything extraordinary, to be quite honest. Yeah.
Okay, Commissioner Joseph, you have the floor.
No, I was just wondering, so now the 6-year issue came up. So when did we actually purchase these cameras?
It just depends where, which site. And we've been working at this since 2014.
Right. So at some locations, we have 6-year-old cameras? And some locations...
At some locations, we could have older. But if they're functioning and it's, an area that isn't critical, if it's like a server room somewhere, where you just need to glance and get, kind of an overview of what's going on. But the more critical locations, where we're like protecting people, they would likely have new cameras.
Yeah. So what is the newest cameras we have? How
Weeks old. Weeks old.
Okay. Yeah. All right. So it runs the gamut.
It does.
Between now and 6 years ago.
Correct.
Okay. Are there any other comments? I have a question.
Sure.
How long have you been in law enforcement?
20 years in June.
It doesn't look, but okay.
Thank
And how
you.
long have you been with Sunny Isles Beach?
20 years.
Okay, amazing. How confident and comfortable are you with this proposal and what you are requesting?
Very. I think that it makes a lot of sense for a lot of reasons.
Okay. You as the expert, I'm going to go with what it is that you are asking for. And with that, I'll take a motion.
I'll make a motion.
I'll second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Okay.
No.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you very much.
Next item, please.
9E is a resolution approving a First Amendment to the agreement with Compass Group USA to provide vending machine services.
Mr. City Manager?
Mayor, Vice Mayor, members of the commission, this is for citywide vending services. Two companies had submitted proposal to the solicitation, and the company that we ended up going with would provide us 27% of gross sales for a 5-year contract term.
Okay. Do we have public speakers?
No, ma'am.
Okay. Public comment is closed. I'll take questions or comments from the commission.
I do have a question. How much
ahead.
have we made of these vending machines in the last few years?
What specific data are you asking about?
Any data. I don't have any data. It says here that because this is income producing, and we don't have anything that tells us how much money we're making. So of course we are going to continue having the service, and if that's the best company to do it, amazing. But I think we are lacking the information, at least to compare how much money we're making, at least in the last 3 years, 4 years, 5 years. We have zero data about it.
Mr. City Manager, I'd like some clarification. You said 27% is what we make off of the vending machines?
Correct.
And do you have
It was 21%. When we went out to bid, it's now 27%.
Okay, and do you have information as to what the industry standard is as far as percentage?
That was based on a piggyback agreement, so I would say that is industry standard for the most part.
And as far as how much money we make off these vending machines, doesn't it really depend on what food is in there and how popular it is with the kids? Do we have, off the top of your head, because this wasn't requested before, do you know how much money we make?
I actually do.
Okay.
Because you did request it on Tuesday, and
Oh, that's
my
right. Thank you.
apologies. Yes, we
Do we
had it
have an
ready for
idea how
today.
many machines there are actually?
Yes, we have. Well, we have 2 at City Hall. There's a couple at Pelican, Sampson Oceanfront Park, Town Center Park.
All right, so I did ask it. Okay, good.
You did. So previous year, $10,256.69. Current year,
What's the best-selling product?
that I don't know. Current year is $13,980.75.
Okay. Thank you. Are there any questions or comments?
No, well, this actually proves the point of the benefits of having bidding process, that we get better companies and better terms.
Okay. Any other comments? I'll take a motion.
Was this a bid or it was a piggyback? No, it was not a bid. It was a
Pembroke
piggyback from
Pines.
Pembroke Pines. Yeah,
No, I'm sorry. Pembroke Pines did do a bid recently, and they
but
only.
this is a piggyback.
We didn't piggy, no. So
how did it work?
we did our own bid,
Okay.
and we got a percentage rate of 21%. Subsequently, I think it was Parkland did a bid, and they got 27%. We piggybacked that contract at 27%. More recently, Pembroke Pines did go out to bid. They did go through the full process, and they only got, I think it's 20% or 21%.
Okay.
20%. Pembroke Pines just went out to bid, and they're only getting 20% from the same vendor.
Got it.
The vendor has agreed to hold our 27%.
Okay, thanks.
Okay. I'll take a motion.
I'll make a motion.
Need a second?
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
All right, next item, please. 9F.
9F is a resolution approving the expenditure of budgeted funds with Carasoft for the licensing of OpenGov, a budgeting software.
Mr. City Manager?
Mayor, Vice Mayor, members of the commission, this is a budgeting software that was approved in November of 2023. We're asking for a 1-year renewal for the continued licensing of this platform from October 1st, 2026 through September 30th, 2027. The renewal cost is $64,009.06.
Thank you. Do we have public speakers?
We do. We
Okay.
have Stephen Hirsch.
State your name, please.
Stephen Hirsch. Our budget director reported that staff is very satisfied with this software and wishes to continue using it. The software is used by many governmental agencies. A review of the OpenGov budgeting software by Carasoft discloses that the software has a built-in module that allows for established metrics that the city would create to be created for every program area. However, as best as I can determine, a full performance-based budget abilities are not being used. Sunny Isles Beach already performs a substantial amount of performance measurement and presents it unusually well in the FY 2026-27 tentative budget. There are actual results, target projections, and future targets throughout each department listed as performance measures. This is a strong foundation to move to the next level of full performance-based budgeting. I don't see evidence in the proposed budget that performance measures are presently integrated into OpenGov's performance measurement facility or symptom ability, and is not integrated at various levels. Mention is made in the budget draft, the tentative budget, to Excel spreadsheets for performance measures. Therefore, I would describe Sunny Isles Beach as having a performance measurement budget that is well-positioned to become a true performance-based budget. The next practical step would be to take the entire 2026-27 budget and identify which of the city's existing measures are genuine KPIs, key performance indicators, which are merely workload statistics, and establish what additional efficiency outcome metrics should be added, then establish green, yellow, and red thresholds and budget consequences for each. This software allows that to occur. The software then creates a dashboard that this commission and the city manager can review to see exactly what is working and what is not. This would not delay the completion of the 2026-27 budget, as the metrics may be added after the budget is completed and then begin to be measured as of the October 1st implementation. We are paying for this software. Why not utilize it to its full potential? Performance-based budgeting gives elected officials, managers, and residents a clear answer to three fundamental questions. What are we spending? I got 1 minute, 30 seconds. What are we receiving?
You get 10.
And are there better ways to achieve the same improved results? It gives decision makers the ability so that budget reductions, increases, and program changes are based on evidence rather than habit, politics, or across-the-board cuts.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Any other speakers?
No, ma'am.
All right, I'll take comments or questions from the commission.
Okay, I have a few
Go
questions.
ahead, Commissioner Sturgeon. You have the floor.
The price quotation that we have is based on a budget between $200 and $300 million. Today, in our workshop, we know that already 175 million were slashed from our budget, so bringing us down to less than $200 million. So I guess this quote needs to be reevaluated, or we had to ask for a new quote, considering that we are not going to be anymore in that threshold between $200 and $300 million, which is the quote that we have right now. Also, it's true, as far as I know, the public portal has not been activated. We're paying for it. And I'm going to read a little bit about the vendor's own words. OpenGov market this platform on three things: budget automation, reporting, and public transparency. It includes a GFO award-winning online budget book that lets stakeholders find and drill into the numbers. Plus, and this is very important, capital planning and performance tracking models that map allocations to outcomes. So many of the questions that I asked that I submitted for answers, I could have gotten those myself if we had the tools to get into the software, which, by the way, is part of the things that they say that they do best, and is giving city officials, or officials, they put it like that, the tools for the decision makers to access to all the information without request, because they have their own login tools. Also, it says here in our own memo, when we got into this with this software back in 2023, it was said that, between other things, the Pompano Beach reported that they run with OpenGov financial transparency module since 2014, and Palm Beach Gardens sitting easy of use for residents. So they do have the capability. We are just not using it, and that's not a decision that this commission has made. This software has to be open to the public, and it has to be accessible to the commission. When it comes to to the CIP, Capital Improvement Plan, the platform links planning, funding, budget, execution, schedule, and close out comparing actual spending against estimates in real time per project. And that includes total approved project costs, original budget versus current amended budget, spending to date and unspent balance, funding source for each dollar, annual appropriation across fiscal years, contract award and change orders, start target milestone date and schedule variance, status between proposed, on hold, or cancel, scope changes with who approved them, and ongoing operating costs. This is a great software that we are paying for and we are not using.
Underutilized.
And right now, we should make sure that it's gonna start being used. Another thing is with the fund balance. It gives all the details of the fund balance. During the workshop today, I said that I am, with the information I had gotten so far, our budget, our building fund went from almost $9 million to less than 100,000. The answers, we could get it from there if we had the access that we don't. And I'm still waiting for the reconciliation that I requested.
If the correct numbers are plugged
So,
in.
yes, so I am okay, clearly, to continue with an opening to the public and to the commission, and if possible, to request a demo or a training from the vendor. Just a video is good. I've seen them, but I think more people in this commission should see them, of the capabilities of the software. That's it.
Thank you. Commissioner Joseph, do you have anything to add?
No, I would like to also have access to the software in order to verify, the numbers and see where funds are being moved from column to column.
Okay. Anyone else have any comments? No? Okay. I don't think that it would be a bad idea to get a video presentation, something from the company, Mr. City Manager.
But then to allow access as well.
Well, I'd like to
We
see
have
what it
to
does
have it.
first. I have to see it first.
We have
but,
to have it. We're paying for it.
Can I get a motion?
Motion.
Need a second?
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
All right. Next item, please. 9G.
9G is a resolution approving a First Amendment with All Seasons Imports doing business as the Christmas Palace to install holiday lights and decorations at various locations throughout the city.
Mr. City Manager? Are we going to put them up?
Oh,
Pictures?
we did
The
not.
pictures.
We did not plan to do that. It's in your agenda packet.
Oh,
My
it's up. It's up.
apologies.
Okay. All right. So
Ness
please
is
go
better
ahead.
than we are.
Uh-huh.
Okay, so at the budget workshop, the first item was to discuss the new lighting plan based on the comments from the previous meeting when we first approved this item. And the conversation said consensus was to add red to the white lights on the trees. And so this new present and two nativity scenes. So this new packet that you have has the red lights on the trees, and it has a nativity scene at Sampson Oceanfront Park and at Gateway Center. On the stage, or next to the stage.
Do we have any public speakers?
David Virgil.
Okay. You don't need to say your name, David. Hi.
Good evening. My name is David Virgil. I think the renderings of the holiday lights look great. My only thing that I really don't like is the red on top of the palm trees. I feel like it looks a little weird, but it looks okay. But the coverage this year looks much greater than previous years, so that's a plus. Also, the snowflake decorations of the light poles remain neutral, and it gives the city like a wintry feel, so that way no one gets offended. So I think that's a great addition to the city.
Thank you. Any other public speakers?
No, ma'am.
All right, I'll take comments or questions from the commission. Anyone? And I'll give this side a chance to speak. Commissioner Lama?
No, I think it looks great. We did receive a couple of emails stating that they see something that I honestly don't see in the
Phallic symbols.
All right,
those-
let's just,
Yeah,
no, please stop.
well,
Whatever.
Commissioner Lama has the
I just
floor.
wanted to
Or
you know,
opinions.
to state that I did see it again, and I don't see it. I think it looks great, and you know, I thank the staff for
Everyone's entitled to
listening
their own
to.
opinion.
Yeah, well, exactly. So anyhow, so yeah, good job. Thank you.
Vice Mayor, any?
I think it would look better with the green, but it's okay. I mean, I know you guys, we took this vote already and we went with red.
Hey, this is just a rendering. We haven't done it. So if you want it
I
with
think
green,
it would
I
look
mean,
better
we
with
can-
the palm trees with the green, but,
you have a
and
point.
and the labyrinth, I think is pretty cool.
Okay, Commissioner
Mayor,
Joseph?
I'm sorry to
Yes, go
interrupt.
ahead.
Just so you know, we are behind schedule technically with this
Right, we have to make
contractor.
it, no changes.
You have two choices today. You either approve this with the red and white, or you go back to all white, which is what was originally presented.
No, we didn't want the all white.
Right, okay. Commissioner Joseph?
Yeah, I'm fine with it. I would have liked to see a little green in there, but I'm fine with it, and everyone's entitled to their opinion as to what it looks like to them, you know?
Okay.
Can't get away from people having their own opinion.
Commissioner Stuyvesant, any comments? Okay, I agree with David. I don't like the red at all. I love the blue and white that we had before because it was consistent with what the buildings around us were doing, so it made it more holistic, but I was outvoted. So we will go with the red and white. I love the labyrinth. It's going to be very, very cool. So hopefully we can make sure that we get this, and despite us being behind schedule. Can I get a motion, please?
I'll make a motion.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
All right, next item, please.
9H is a resolution approving a second amendment to the project agreement with Keith and Associates for civil engineering and landscape architectural services for Bella Vista Park.
Okay, Mr. City Manager?
Mayor, Vice Mayor, members of the commission, this approves the second amendment for the project for engineering and landscape architect services at Bella Vista Park in an amount not to exceed $18,900.
All right, do we have any public speakers?
No, ma'am.
Okay, I'll take comments or questions from the commission.
I have
Go ahead.
an adjacent question, not really about this, but I got an email about the bio walls, and I know I asked you, Susan, a while back, but I haven't followed up. Do you happen to?
Oh, I got a
Are we gonna be able
I got
to?
one also
Are we gonna be able to
for
do
a meeting.
Do
the bio walls?
We cannot do the bio walls at this project.
Okay, so that answers my question because that's what I thought we had talked about, but I got an email and I figured I would just ask him.
No, I was contacted also.
Thank you.
Regarding that.
Yes, I got the email as well. I actually, thank you for reminding me about that. That
Thank
could
you.
be
I thought
something
it was
interesting
special.
for us to do. Any other questions?
No.
I'll take a motion.
Motion.
I need a second.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Okay, next item, please.
Next item is 9I, A resolution approving a third amendment to the agreement with Nunez Construction for the installation of an emergency generator and building restoration at Gateway Community Center.
Okay, Mr. City Manager?
Mayor, Vice Mayor, members of the commission, this is a third amendment with Nunez for the installation of the emergency generator. And this is a time extension, not money, just time, because the equipment was delayed in getting here.
Okay, so there's no financial implication here.
No.
All right, do we have public speakers?
No, ma'am.
Yeah.
Any comments from the commission? May
I had spoken with Susan earlier. She had said that this was already installed, and I'm not for putting any additional money into Gateway. I would like to see eventually Gateway rebuilt, but
Okay, thank you,
That's
Commissioner
it.
Joseph. There's no money here. I'll take a motion.
So moved.
I need a second.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Okay, next item, please.
9J is a resolution approving a First Amendment to the agreement with EnviroWaste Services Group for stormwater management preventive maintenance services.
Mayor, Vice Mayor, members of the commission, this is the company that we use to keep our stormwater drains cleared. And the original contract that we had, the company went out of business. This is a secondary contract.
Okay, do we have public speakers?
No, ma'am.
Questions from the commission?
no.
During the agenda review, I had asked some questions, and I'll bring them up now since we have people in the audience. What sort of things that we can do to mitigate some of this so that we're not cleaning it as often, and namely, it's the leaf blowers that people use that then clog up the drains, and it's a nuisance. It's a big nuisance, especially in I think Golden Shores and probably Atlantic Island, where there's single-family homes, certainly all over the city. The city attorney went to the restroom. So I was advised that we cannot regulate the blowers. There's really nothing we can do, but we are going to look into potentially what we do have on the books to enforce for greater enforcement, because ultimately they cost us more money and we have to clean it up more often.
Are there any type of screens that we can install over the grates?
We are not allowed to install the screens that we had discussed, but I guess we can wait for Alan to come back. But that's really the issue. I had asked, is there a possibility to enforce it with a littering law? Because technically, if you're moving the dead leaves to your neighbor's yard, you're kind of throwing garbage on their yard. But I don't know how realistic that is. You'd have to catch someone actually doing it. In any case, this is something that I'd like to look at further because it's an expensive initiative.
There are blowers that are actually vacuums. I have one.
Apparently,
they're
they
more
fill up very
expensive.
fast, so
They
that's why
do.
nobody uses them.
Yes.
But thank you for being the one person that uses it. All right, I'll take a motion.
Motion.
So moved.
All right, all in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
All right, next item.
9K is a resolution approving a Fourth Amendment to the agreement with MT Causely LLC to provide non-exclusive structural inspection and plans review services on an as-needed basis.
Mr. City Manager?
Mayor, Vice Mayor, members of the commission, this approves a Fourth Amendment with MT Causely, the company that we're using for structural inspections and plan review on as-needed basis.
Do we have public speakers?
No, ma'am.
Okay, comments or questions from the commission?
Yes, I do have.
Go ahead.
So we start this contract in 2023 for an initial not to exceed amount of $50,000. This is bringing us to a not to exceed amount of $810,000. A jump from 50 to 800,000. Once again, then I don't know how anyone with any common sense can justify this. During the budget, only one workshop that we had, they decided, the staff, to cut the 4 positions that also could help with this, the 4 inspection positions. So we need to consider what is it that we are doing here. If outsourcing is the answer, we should have those numbers in front of us. Or probably we should be hiring. Right now, we are spending $6 million to build a state-of-the-art building department in front of us, and we are outsourcing almost $1 million of inspections. This doesn't add up. So this makes no sense how we go from 50,000 to 810,000 from 2023 to now. So I'm completely against this. And this goes to my point of how we are using our building restricted fund.
Okay. Any other questions? Mr. City Manager, could you clarify how these costs are covered and whether permit fees cover this? And answer the question of how do we get to that number from 2023, please?
This has been one of the most difficult positions to fill in the building department, structural inspector and structural plan review. So we've tried we've hired different people, and then they're here for not very long time before they're recruited by other agencies. So it's very difficult for us to retain and fill this position. So the cost for the services are covered by the permit fees.
What percentage is covered by the permit fees?
All of it.
Okay.
By law.
All right. Any questions? I'll take a motion.
So moved.
Need a second?
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Any
Aye.
opposed?
No.
Okay, next item. 9L.
9L is a resolution approving an agreement, approving a parking license agreement between the City of Sunny Isles Beach and La Playa Beach Associates for the use of a portion of the parking lot under the Lehman Causeway.
Mr. City Manager?
Mayor, Vice Mayor, members of the commission, we were approached by La Playa Beach Associates requesting parking under the Lehman so they can accommodate overflow parking for their projects. And the rate that they would be paying is $11,200 per month for 28 spaces.
Okay, do we have any public speakers?
No, ma'am.
I will take questions or comments from the commission.
No.
Take a motion then.
Mayor,
Motion.
there's just one. There's a Scrivener's errors in the license fee. The number's right, but the letters are wrong. So we'll fix that. But it's just a Scrivener's error.
Okay, thank you
Thank
for
you,
that.
Mr. Hirsch, for pointing that out.
All right, motion, I need a motion.
I'll make a motion.
Second,
Second.
all in favor?
Aye.
Okay, next item.
9N is a resolution approving, 9M, as in Mary, is a resolution approving the First Amendment to the Urban Qualification and Cooperation Agreement between the City of Sunny Isles Beach and Miami-Dade County for participation in the Community Development Block Grant, Home Investment Partnerships, and Emergency Solutions Grant Programs for fiscal years 2027 through 2029.
Okay. Mr. City
Mayor,
Manager?
Vice Mayor, members of the commission, this is necessary for us to have an agreement with Miami-Dade County. If they get monies, then we could get a portion of it. It's an if-then scenario. It would be a pass-through from the county to us if we qualify. If we don't have the agreement in place, then we cannot, we will not be able to receive any monies from them.
Okay. Do we have public speakers?
No, ma'am.
Questions from the commission?
And what is this agreement involving? That we might have a grant?
The grant that we could possibly, well, it's community development block grants. We're not sure if we would be able to access any of this, but just in case we want to have the agreement in place. So we don't
What is it
think.
that we have to do in order to qualify?
It's a
Just this contract, that's it.
it's based on your annual salary, so your income. So we normally, we probably do not, nobody in our city probably qualifies for this. However, as things change, we may potentially have people in the city that would qualify for the HUD grants. It's HUD.
Oh, HUD.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't think we have too many.
Well, it sadly may be growing, but Commissioner Lama, did you want to add something?
No, I just wanted
Okay.
to say that I think there's a percentage here within the city that may, yeah.
Okay.
So we just need to obviously consider that.
Yeah, just have to be a part of it in order to potentially benefit. I'll take a motion.
So
I'll
move.
make a motion.
Second.
All right, all in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
All right, we're down to 9N.
9N is a resolution pursuant to Section 5.1 of the Municipal Charter, calling for a general election to be held on Tuesday, November 3rd, 2026, for the purpose of submitting to the electorate of the city of Sunny Isles Beach the names of all qualified candidates for election to positions of mayor, City Commission 2, and City Commission seat 4, and providing for a runoff election if necessary on December 1st, 2026. Mayor and Commissioners, this is the the resolution that we propose every 2 years to call for a general election. This is for November 3rd. The list of duly qualified candidates, which was held between August 3rd and August 7th, is listed in the memo. If you like, I can read them very quickly. For position of mayor, we have Larissa Svechin, Dana Goldman, and Robert Spence Jr. III. For seat 2, we have Stephen Hirsch, David Virgil, Robert Balchunas, and Alexander Brisk. And for seat 4, we have Carolina Cruz Gonzalez and Maggie Gordo. So this calls for that election, and also in the event of a runoff, it will be held on December 1st, 2026.
Okay. Do we have any public speakers?
No, ma'am.
Mauricio, if you can, please, because there have been times in the past where there has been confusion as to what portion of this the city actually controls, and us having a resolution implies that we have a lot of control over this. Specifically, if you can mention losing the church location as a polling place.
Yeah, so we have very little control, especially me in my position as supervisor of elections for the city is limited to ministerial functions. In terms of the selection of sites to serve as polling locations, only in the event of there being a location that's unavailable, if we're notified by the elections department, we may be able to assist in finding an alternate site. However, that is purely up to the elections department. They're the ones that select the sites based on population and location.
And the site agreeing to...
And the site, of course, agreeing to hold it as a polling location. So in this case, and excuse me, Mayor.
Yeah, go ahead.
For these elections, the precinct at St. Magdalene is moved to Gateway Center. It's temporary from what I'm told by the elections department, but it will affect the general elections on November 3rd, as well as the possible runoff elections on December 1st.
We don't know yet.
We don't know how long this will be. At the very least, it'll be for this election cycle. And to mitigate that inconvenience, I've spoken with the city manager, and we will be offering a shuttle service for all those that are affected in that area to be able to be transported over to Gateway Center.
Okay, and during this primary, I got some calls from residents that believe that they can change their location based on how close it is to them. So again, since you have the opportunity now and people are watching, can you clarify what control, which we don't have, what decides where they vote? So for instance, someone that lives in Saint-Tropez wants to vote at Gateway, but that's the cutoff district.
Yeah, so we've received several complaints, and I would say almost every year we have at least 1 or 2 complaints from residents of Saint-Tropez where they complain, and understandably so, of why they have to go to Arlen House to vote when they have a precinct right across the street from them. Again, that's one of the things that we don't have any control over. That's all determined by the elections department. They're the ones that draw the boundaries, again, based on population.
Okay, thank you. All right, any questions or comments from the commission?
And adding to the confusion is that what we use as our boundaries for establishing our districts is slightly different from what the county does for where you vote. And just like Saint-Tropez, also we have the unnamed building that we couldn't think of in the earlier meeting. It would make sense that they vote here.
Right.
But they vote at the church, and now these people here are going to have to go to Gateway.
Right. So people
even though it makes sense that they would come here, you know, but that's the county determines that.
So when we have the buses, Mauricio, they're going to be on site at the church. I want to just make sure it's clear that we're not going to be driving around picking up people. They're just going to be at the church.
They'll be stationed at the church, and it'll be a round trip. But yeah, it's not on demand.
Okay, so we'll do our best to let people know, but I know that this, the supervisor of elections already sent out many notices. It's,
Yes, each person that's affected in that precinct or in that precinct has received a temporary polling location change card that they can take to the precinct to make sure that they are able to vote at that location. In addition to that, we've also sent out our own notices to let everyone know, all of the residents of the city to know that that change has been made.
okay, I'll take a motion then.
Motion.
Need a second?
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
All right, now we're on to citizens forum. Do we have speakers?
We do have speakers, ma'am. One second. So the first person is Stephen Hirsch.
You've got 3 minutes.
Just a few comments from the workshop today. Regarding the issue of parties and permits and our beach, I would just hope, having listened to the entire conversation, that the commission would seek input from residents on the west side of Collins as well as beachfront properties to try to ascertain what, if any, is the real problem before we automatically say that there is a problem. It's clear that our ordinances do need some work, irrespective of what that survey may find. And I would hope that the commission would be able to get rid of the ambiguity and wording and missing definitions that were described during the workshop today. The commission goal should be, I would hope, to balance the rights of all the stakeholders, of every resident of this city, and attempt to allow beach activities into a win-win situation for all residents, whether to the west side of Collins or whether they're on the ocean. The last thing we need is animosity between geographic areas of our city. There's plenty of beach to go around for everyone in our city. One important comment that I would hope is that there is absolutely no commercial activity on the beach. As this commission discussed, that would create a bad precedent. I gotta go fast. So as far as the Inspector General comments, I think it's important that if this is, and I have no position on this other than to say the important thing is defining what, if any, rights or responsibilities this Inspector General is going to have or her have. The one comment, though, I did hear mentioned about the police department, that I think may present a problem. I'll, of course, defer to the city attorney. But I believe that civilian oversight of law enforcement in the state of Florida is precluded. And finally, I would support the exploration of a community center for our city. I think that would be, if it's thought out and found well, that would be a good idea. Thank you for this evening, and thank you all. Good night.
Thank you. Okay, any other speakers?
Martin Chaddock.
Okay.
Good evening, Mayor, Vice Mayor, members of the commission. My name is Martin Chaddock. I live at 100 Kings Point Drive, and the city has built this beautiful park called Intercoastal Sports Park, and I have a view from it from my patio, but I have an issue. They have a light that says Intercoastal Sports Park that illuminates 24 hours pretty much throughout the night, and it's an eyesore. And in addition to that, it also reflects on the water that the park sits on, and it's even more of an eyesight. So I just wanted to just bring that to your attention. Thank you very much.
Thank you, that's appreciated. Any other speakers?
Greg Capro.
Good evening, Mayor, Commission. Greg Capra, 257 Point Santa Island Drive. Observing the workshop this afternoon was more like a commission meeting. There was a lot of information that went on there. Some of it was disturbing. One part that was disturbing would sound like an allegation of missing money within the budget related to the building department. I hope that becomes transparent, maybe discussed in an open commission meeting that could be addressed openly, because it sounds disturbing, to say the least. The other part that was somewhat disturbing was about the city manager, a vote of no confidence. I found this manager, which came through in a very toxic manner at the last leadership, to be very supportive, responsive, and I hope it doesn't go that way again with that kind of toxic transition that was alluded to in the next commission meeting as new commissioners come on board. Thank you.
Thank you. Any other speakers?
Igor Medj.
Hi, Igor. Thank you
Good evening.
for waiting. I know you've been patient, so I'll give you a little extra time.
Good evening. My name is Igor Mietz. My address 17555 Collins Avenue, apartment 507. I have a small issue. We have a group of residents of Sunny Isles who play in soccer on Pelican Park field for about 15 years. We're playing twice a week, Friday night and Sunday night from 7 till 9. We always applied for the permit, and we didn't have any problem to get this permit from Pelican Park management. But starting September 2005, they refuse with no reason to give us permit for playing Sunday night. And without permit, they don't give us the goalie, so we have to come and bring our small goalies, which is designed basically for kindergarten. So my question, if you help us somehow to get Sunday permit back, we would really appreciate. If any issues need to discuss, we will open discuss, but we don't know the reason why they canceled. Right. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Yes.
Do we have?
I can answer.
No, we're not going to answer. No. Do we have any other speakers?
No other speakers.
Okay, sir, you're welcome to talk to Commissioner Joseph after the meeting adjourns. Thank you, everyone, for attending and your patience and your input. Meeting adjourned.